Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Monday 13th of April 2026 and we are going to be doing top-down analysis on Gbpusd, Eurusd, XAUSD and Btcusd. First of all, I would like to congratulate those who took advantage of this move. I called it yesterday, which was Sunday. I explained every reason we should be expecting Gbpusd to sell from this particular zone before we see another buying pressure. You can see the particular trade here and you can see the result right here. So, and I also gave a trade on XAUSD, but it didn't go our way. Although I didn't take this trade because when I saw the opening of Gbpusd and Eurusd, I decided to cancel this trade before the market opened. And as usual, I saw that because when XAUSD, Gbpusd and Eurusd, most times they go in the same direction. If Gbpusd is buying, sometimes Eurusd is also buying and XAUSD is buying. You can see. So the spike I saw on Gbpusd and Eurusd made me realize that this particular zone might not be holding that easily and it might spike through it. You can see what it did. It spiked through it. I was targeting this place. That is why I always ensure anyone that is following my trades, my analysis, to also be doing their own analysis and also understand the concepts in the market, because the market is dynamic. It can change at any time. So it is very important for you to always do your own analysis also, not just follow someone else's analysis blindly. So without wasting much of our time, let's get straight into the video. Remember to click on the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. Please do that right now. Subscribe right now. Now let's get straight into the video. So we are going to start with Eurusd today to see what is going on. As usual, we start from our daily time frame. Let's start our analysis from our daily time frame. See what is happening in the bigger picture. So what we saw at this point here, we saw the takeout of this low, right? After the takeout of this low, we saw that this high was being taken out, right? We saw that this high was being taken out. So we can simply regard this place as a market structure shift, right? We can regard this place as a market structure shift. And as usual, the first pullback after the market structure shift is called a what? An inducement. So we can regard all this move here as an inducement in this market. So we can regard this move here as an inducement in the market in our daily time frame, right? So, and below, right below it, we can see our demand zone. Just right below it, you can see this demand zone. Right, good. So we know what the market has done now, and immediately after the inducement, you can see that it went to take out this high immediately, which is the break of structure. You can see break of structure, right? And after the break of structure, we can see the market coming directly to take out this inducement, right? Good. So right now, we have seen that the market has taken out the inducement, tapped into the demand zone, and we can see what the market is doing right now. The market is simply buying aggressively. And not to make us blind, we should not look at the market blindly, because this might also be a market structure shift to the downside, right? But we need to also check, we need to look at it from both sides. We should look at it from an inducement level and we should look at it from a market structure shift level. So if we are looking for it as an inducement level, it simply means that this market will keep buying till it takes out this high, right? But if we are looking at it from a market structure shift perspective, it simply tells us that the market will start selling from this imbalance, right? And there is also a supply zone here. There is a supply zone here, and we simply have this particular support, previous support, which might now serve as a resistance in the market. So we should be open for both. Open for both scenario, we might be looking at this as an inducement and it is a market structure shift, or we might be looking at it as a market structure shift and it is simply an inducement, right? So basically we are marking this place out as our demand zone, as our supply zone, sorry. As our supply zone. So, but you should take note that this supply zone might not be tapped before the market starts selling again, right? Because we simply have a support level here, a previous support level here that might now turn to a resistance, and we have imbalance right here. So the market might not simply hit this supply zone before it starts selling again. So we are open to whatever the market does. But if the market is going to reverse and start selling again, right, that template tells us that this particular supply zone is definitely going to hold. And once it holds, it will push the market to the downside again, right? So we need to be open to both ends. We should look at what the market is going to do at this particular level, if the market is going to continue buying or the market will shift structure to the downside to start selling. So to know what the market is going to do, we simply go to our 1 hour time frame and mark out our structure. What simply happened today in the market was, after the market broke out of this high, it wicked below above and it created this inducement. The market tapped into this particular order block. You can see the order block right here. The market tapped into this particular order block and it started buying again. And you can see what the market has just simply done. The market has simply broken structure to the upside again. So now what we have now is, because this particular zone was the zone that swept liquidity, this is now our strong low, right? This is now our strong low in the market. So we need to cut out these zones. Remember, we are looking at this particular daily supply zone for the market to approach, because the market is simply in a particular phase now that it can turn to bearish and it can keep buying. So now we have these particular zones. We have our break of structure. We have this our break of structure right here. And here we have our strong low, right? Before the market broke structure, we have this move. We had this move. We had this move. So we had this particular market structure shift. So this was the zone that caused the market structure shift. This was the other block that caused the market structure shift. This was the other block that caused the market structure shift. But it is a market structure shift and it's also a break of structure in the bigger picture, and it is also a market structure shift in the smaller picture. So right now, let's drop to our 15-minute time frame to see what candle actually caused that break of structure in our 1 hour time frame. Let's see what is happening there. So basically, we have this particular other block. We can see this particular other block right here. You can also see this other block, this demand zone. You can see this demand zone. Let's see what the market has, because whatever we want, any decision we have to make in our left hand side, we also have to check on our right hand side. We also have to check what is happening in our left hand side. So what I will simply do now is to check what is happening in my left hand side in the market. So I want to see what is happening in my left hand side. If I'm going to see a breaker block, so let's check it out. Right now we don't have any zone, we don't have a breaker block at this particular level. We don't have any right now. So let's go to our 30 minutes. Let's see, maybe we'll have any zone. So we are going to check our other time frames also, so we can be sure of the decisions we are trying to make. So this is simply where the market is right now. So let's also go back and see what is happening. if we are going to see any valid breaker block. So basically, yes, we can see a breaker block right here. This is a breaker block, but we need to be sure this breaker block is valid. So we have this move. We have this move. It was only a single break, so I can't count it as a valid. I can't count it as a valid one. So let's go to our 45 minutes. Let's see what we also have in our 45 minutes. If you are to do your analysis, you need to be very careful when you are doing your analysis. So you can use the right point of interest if you are to buy in the market. You also don't have that. Let's check our 1 hour to be sure of the decisions we are making in the market. Okay, so for now we don't have anything on our left hand side, so let's wait to see what the market has for us here right now. Let's see what the market has for us at this particular point. So as usual, in our 1 hour time frame, since we have seen a break of structure, we have to wait for probably an inducement, then a push up, then we can wait for the tap for the mitigation of this other block, then we can continue our buying pressure. But for now, we don't have anything to work with right here. So but we know this is our strong low, this is our break of structure, so we should be expecting more of buys on EURUSD. So you can just wait for your entries on EURUSD. So let's check GBPUSD. Let's see what GBPUSD has for us also. So as usual, we go to our daily time frame to see what is happening. In our daily time frame, GBPUSD has turned bullish. GBPUSD has turned bullish. Okay. GBPUSD has turned bullish. You can see our break of structure right here. Basically, GBPUSD is now very much bullish. So let's see our daily time frame properly. Okay, this is our last low. After the takeout of this high, we saw a pullback, right? And we saw a break of structure. So that is our last low. This is our last low right here. And we can see that the market has also broken out of this key level in the market. So let's go to our 1 hour time frame to see what we've got in our 1 hour time frame. Let's see what we've got in our 1 hour time frame. Okay. So this was the last low that swept liquidity. This was the last low. So you can see this is our strong low in the market. And we have our break of structure. Okay, we have our break of structure. So let's see what we've got to do here. So this was the other block that caused the break of structure. That was the other block that caused the break of structure. At this point, we have a breaker here. We have a breaker at this zone. This was a previous other block. This was a previous other block in the market. Okay, we saw the failure of that particular order block, and we saw this pullback. We saw this pullback right here. And in our 1 hour time frame right now, we have seen our inducement, which is this, a pullback, a push up. So we should be expecting the price to come to this particular zone for a new buy. So I'll be buying Gbpusd from this particular zone. I'll be buying Gbpusd from this zone. I'll be targeting 1:4 in this trade. So this is the buyers I have on Gbpusd. So let's see what the market does. It is also a breaker in 30 minutes. It's also a breaker in 30 minutes. But I've been able to refine it in my 15-minute time frame. So this is what I have got. So let's see what the market has for us. So this is the setup I have on Gbpusd. For XAUSD, as usual, let's go to our daily time frame. The market is reacting from this particular order block. The market is reacting from this order block. Let's check our 1 hour time frame to see what the market is doing. So basically, XAUSD is simply ranging right now. So we don't have any decision to make on XAUSD at the moment. I don't have any decisions to make at XAUSD at the moment. So let's see Btcusd. On Btcusd, I had a setup on Btcusd. I did an analysis yesterday and I was expecting this low to get cleared, but it seems this low is getting holding, and this is simply a strong low right here because that was the last low that swept liquidity, and simply it is using this place as an inducement for a new buy. I was able to get a setup on this particular trade, but the setup, the market didn't come to tap it. I think I made a screenshot of it. No, I didn't make a screenshot of it. So I was trying to buy Btcusd from this zone, but the price didn't come to tap it, and it's simply okay. It is very okay. So we'll wait for what the market has for us. The market has simply failed to come and tap this level. Let's see where the market is reacting from right now. It's not giving any sign of it trying to. Right now, I don't have any decisions to make on Btcusd. So I'm just waiting for this zone. If it gets mitigated, I'll buy from this zone. And if it doesn't get mitigated, once the price clears this high, we'll be looking for setups on Btcusd. But at the moment, Btcusd is buying and buying because it took out this liquidity. This was the liquidity in the market. It took the liquidity out, and now it is buying, buying, and buying. So let's see what the market has for us on Btcusd, Gbpusd, Eurusd, and Gbpusd and Eurusd. So if you are yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, make sure to click on the subscribe button right now so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video again. Have a great day.